And this is the key to have confidence in conversation. Focus on what you have to offer and not what you have to get. Because a lot of people will feel very nervous whenever they want to, let's say, go up and talk to a girl who they think is pretty. And the reason that they feel nervous is because they want something from that person. They want to get something from that person. And they're afraid that they won't get what they want, and so they feel insecure. If you can shift your focus and focus your conversation on what can I provide to this other person? What can I give away for free to this other person? What value can I put into this person's life? If you shift your focus that way and you try to be a benefit and a help to the person that you're talking to, then you're going to find you have a tremendous amount of confidence. And why is that? It's because men were made to provide. We are providers. And so whenever we shift our focus and start to become consumers, start to become feed me, my desires, this is what I want, we're shifting our nature and it feels awkward, and it's supposed to. If we can be men and focus on what can we provide to the person that we're talking to, then we're fulfilling our nature and it's going to feel much more natural. And we're also taking the focus off of ourselves and putting it onto somebody else. And so even if we're deficient in something or we're not doing things perfectly, if our focus is on how can we best serve the person that we're talking to, how can we provide value to their life, then we're going to be okay. And the value that you provide could be as simple as a charming conversation. It could be as simple as just having a nice chat with somebody. It doesn't have to be extravagant life advice or something like that, but just provide value to that person in some way. Jesus says, the greatest amongst you shall be the servant of all. And I would even go so far as to say the most confident among you shall be the servant of all. The more that you have to offer, the more that you feel needed and accepted and loved by other people, because you can provide them with something and something of great value. And if you're saying, oh, I don't have anything of value to provide, oh, I don't have anything to give in this conversation, you're lying to yourself. You do have something. And maybe you don't have as much as other people. Just be real with yourself. Maybe you're not as socially skilled as other people. But social skills are skills. They're not magic talents that people are born with. It's nothing like that. Your social skills can and should develop the more that you age. Social virtues are real virtues. Knowing how to have a conversation with somebody, knowing how to make eye contact and smile at the appropriate times and nod and focus the conversation on them and not on yourself, knowing how to do all of that, it's a skill. It's a skill, and it's learnable and it's teachable. So if you feel like you're awkward in conversations, this is what you need to do. You need to come up with 3 questions that you can ask the other person about themselves, and you need to make sure that you're presenting yourself in a way that is acceptable and nice and easily received. Because it's difficult to come up with things to talk about just on the spot. It's very difficult. So if you have 3 preconceived questions that you can just present to the other person, hopefully the conversation takes off from there. And if it doesn't, it's probably a them problem and not a you problem, assuming that you've made sure that you don't smell, you've put on deodorant or whatever, you've brushed your teeth, you don't look like a slob, but you look like somebody who's worthy of having a good conversation with. So that's point number 1. Focus on what you can provide in a conversation and not what you can take away. This will cause your confidence to skyrocket.